This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post, coming to you from the Fort Hall School of Government in Nairobi, Kenya. In this show, we summarize the headlines that you might have missed this morning. We also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 4th of May 2022, and I am Miss K.
I am JM.
And I am AX. In case you missed the headlines, here they are. In the Daily Nation, the next DP. In the Standard, Kalonzo's big no to Raila vetting panel. In the Star, eyes on Kalonzo as Raila deputy selection begins. And in the People Daily, wipe a storm ahead of Raila DP interviews. Now, allow me to kick things off. So, yesterday, the IEBC announced a record number of independent candidates for the 2022 election, specifically 7,213 candidates. Now, this makes the party called Independent the largest sponsor of political candidates in this nation's history. Now, of the over 7,200 candidates that have registered as independents, about 44 have been cleared to vie for the presidential ticket. Now, this brings the total number of presidential aspirants to a massive 55. Now, we already know that unless your name is Raila Omolo Odinga or William Samoei Arap Ruto, you do not stand a chance of winning this election. Fact. But this does not mean that our nameless independents cannot make a difference. In fact, I believe that their collective candidature has significantly increased the nullification, or rather the probability, that the 2022 election results will be nullified. And this is because they will increase the complexity of our elections. Let us look at just one element, the ballot papers. Except this time, Kenyans will be presented with a ballot novel with 55 names, 55 symbols, and 55 checkboxes. And if you think this novel will only make things easier, I believe you have either too much faith in our electoral system or you do not know your history. In the 2006 DRC elections, there were 33 presidential candidates, and this created issues for their ballot papers. Many were found to be large, unwieldy, and contained multiple pages. The largest ballot, for example, from one of the 4 Kinshasa districts, listed 864 candidates, each with their name, photo, party symbol, party acronym, and the number on the place of the ballot. This meant that the ballot paper itself was about the size of a newspaper and 6 pages long. And this led to several issues concerning the secrecy, efficiency, and credibility of the vote, issues that the Supreme Court of the DRC dismissed. But these issues more than meet our threshold that the Supreme Court set for nullifying an election in 2017. And this is because the Marago Court held that the elections can be overturned if they either violate the principles of the Constitution under Articles 10, 38, 81, or 86, or affect the results of the election. And a ballot novel with 55 names, 55 symbols, and 55 checkboxes may, like in the DRC, infringe upon Article 38(3)(b) of our Constitution, which guarantees us the right to a secret ballot. Now, given that our court has codified its willingness to overturn the next general election in paragraph 402 of the 2017 Maraga ruling, our independent candidates may have just created the conditions for the nullification of their results. This is before we consider transmission issues, printing issues, and issues surrounding voter education on this new ballot. And this is just on the issue of ballot papers. We have yet to consider how they will complicate electoral petitions, as there will now be at least 54 petitioners, or we haven't even interrogated the possibility of the independents forming a coalition, as one of the candidates has suggested. And with less than 100 days to the next election, the organization entrusted with figuring all this out is the IEBC. God help us all.
Couldn't agree more. So today I want to also join AX and make some speculations about the presidential election. My speculation is this: what if Raila and Ruto are not on the ballot come August 9th? What if on September 13th, the earliest date we could have a new president, we end up swearing in a nameless, faceless man with a coconut head from the list of 44 independent candidates cleared by IEBC? Now, my assertion is not baseless guesswork. It is based in law. And there are currently 6 cases pending before the High Court on the eligibility of Ruto and Raila to vie for president in this election. Raila is facing 2 petitions while Ruto is facing 4 petitions. And these petitions ask some valid questions. So the first petition against Raila claims that he is a public officer and an advisor to the government under a little-known act called the Retirement Benefits Deputy President and Designated State Officers Act of 2015. You see, Raila, Kalonzo and Mudavadi all receive benefits from the Consolidated Fund, and this makes them public officers. As a public officer, therefore, Raila should have resigned from his current role as advisor before seeking public office. And because the deadline for the resignation of public officers passed in February, he is no longer eligible to run in this election. The second petition against Raila claims that when Raila swore himself in as People's President in January 2018, he committed treason and should be barred from running for office until he's cleared of the treason charge. On the other hand, the petitions against Ruto relate to his position as Deputy President. One petition claims that the DP and the President serve as a single unit. As such, DP should be barred from nomination for office in a subsequent election after the President's 2 terms expire. So you should wait until 2027. Now, another petition claims that Ruto is ineligible to run for president because he has committed a crime under the Oaths and Statutory Declarations Act. He swore an oath to be the Deputy President of Kenya, then absconded his official duties and has been engaging in self-assigned duties. Another petition wants the court to declare that a sitting president, deputy president, governor, deputy governor cannot be elected to any other elective post other than the one they hold. Now, with all these petitions before the courts and just about 3 months, 90 days to the election, I have to ask, could it be that a legal mind is at work to ensure that neither Ruto nor Raila are on the ballot come August 9th? This legal mind has studied the judicial legacy of the post-Maraga court, a court that has nullified an election, refused to answer to parliament and stopped a referendum because it valued process over product. Could this court, through a rigid interpretation of the law, leave us with 44 independent candidates from whom to choose a president?
Maybe.
I think they just might. And remember, the decision of the court cannot be reversed, cannot be appealed, and is final. Maybe we need to take a second look at that long list of independent candidates. Maybe Jeremiah Nyaga or Ruben Kagame may start to look a little bit more appealing.
Or Wajakoya. If you know, you know.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
On how to win in politics, Roger Stone says, the best presidential candidate is one who's lost once. But I would go further and add, better still, the best candidate is one who's lost thrice or even 5 times. Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana lost 2 elections before winning in 2016. Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria lost 3 elections before winning in 2015. Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia lost 5 elections before winning in 2021. Our very own President Uhuru Kenyatta lost once. And now on to our leading presidential contenders for 2022, all 55 of them. William Ruto has never lost an election, let alone run for president. Raila Odinga, in the meantime, has lost 4 elections. And this is why he is 4 times more likely to win the presidential election compared to Ruto. You see, William Ruto is coming into this contest like Goliath or Samson, who had never lost a battle. But we all know how those stories ended. And that is why Roger Stone says the best presidential candidate is the one who has lost at least once. So let me explain by way of a Formula One story. Jackie Stewart, the Briton, was a Formula One world champion 3 times. And legend had it that the reason he was great was because he drove better in the rain than anyone else. Now, driving in the rain on the F1 racetrack is a major stress inducer for most drivers. Visibility is impaired, the grip levels of the tires are weaker, and then you have the occasional puddles of standing water on the track, and it's far many more variables you have to account for while cruising at a speed of 350 kilometers per hour. But Jackie Stewart made it be known to the other drivers that, unlike them, he thrived in wet weather. And because of this, all his competitors got a mental block. They told themselves, because Jackie Stewart is the best in these conditions, however fast he was going was the absolute limit that anybody could go. And after he retired, he admitted in an interview that he actually hated driving in the rain. But because he knew all the other drivers hated it and feared it, he took advantage of that by inventing this myth, and it worked.
Incredibly clever.
Jackie Stewart didn't win 3 world championships by being the fastest driver. He won by being the smartest driver.
Yeah.
But here's a real backstory of Jackie Stewart. He was dyslexic, and you know, being dyslexic, that's a disadvantage. And so from an early age, he was told that in order to succeed in life, he would have to work twice as hard as everybody else, be twice as smart as everybody else, and that's precisely what he did. Raila Odinga is our Jackie Stewart in this contest. Having lost 4 times in the journey to State House, what he knows that William Ruto does not know is how not to win an election. He knows where all the minefields are located. He knows when to speak and when to hold his tongue, who to make alliances with and who to ignore. As I have submitted in the past, therefore, this is what makes Raila the underdog in this election, the David, and William Ruto the lesser experienced of the two, the Goliath.
Wow, oh my word. Okay, so allow us to now consider the headlines. We have a 3-part criteria that we use to judge the headlines. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Is a headline topical, or speculative, repetitive, or groundbreaking, thoughtful, or just plain lazy? Now for the people in the back, just in case you have forgotten the headlines, here they are once more. The Daily Nation, the next DP. The Standard, Kalonzo's big no to Raila vetting panel. The Star, eyes on Kalonzo as Raila deputy selection begins. And the People Daily, wipe a storm ahead of Raila DP interviews. What do you guys think? Do we have a winning headline?
Yes, we do. A clear winner, at least for me, the Daily Nation.
The Daily Nation, I concur.
Okay, all right, and there you have it. The Daily Nation is our winning headline. Now, on to our political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Once more, we have a 3-part criteria that we use to break down the cartoons for you. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Is a cartoon humorous or dry, satirical or pessimistic, effective or just plain lazy? JM, why don't you kick us off with your cartoon?
Yeah. So we have in the Daily Nation a caricature of the deputy president on the right. He's right at the peak of Mount Kenya, and he's holding dearly onto it. And on the left is President Kenyatta doing push-ups, and Raila at the foot of the mountain down there, and who's saying to Ruto here, I'll soon join the campaigns. And the context here, I think really is that, the true king of the mountain is UHURU Kenyatta. He hasn't hit the campaign trail yet. He's doing push-ups, showing that, once
he's warming up.
Once he hits the ground, things are going to change. Tables are going to turn.
Indeed, all
Good
right.
cartoon.
So let me take a look at the Standard. So in the Standard cartoon, it depicts the road to the 2022 elections. Leading the way is a semi-truck driven by the caricatures of our politicians. We have a hyena, a faceless man, a pig, and a cat, I think. And the semi-truck is billowing smoke from its exhaust, no doubt impairing the vehicle behind it. Now behind the semi-truck is an IEBC bus full of people, but they are too also nameless. Now, I believe the context of this is the 2022 elections. However, the cartoon doesn't feel like it's being directed at anyone. It's speaking quite generally. I feel like the cartoonist could have used this cartoon in July. It would have made as much sense. So try again next time, please.
Toss that one.
Yes, please.
Okay. Toss
All right,
that one.
please okay, this
All right, then hold on a moment. Let me just toss the Standard. Sorry, Gado. On to the Star.
Yes.
Here we have a sea of little people. Little figures are racing to a calculator where they are spelling out the name Independence right next to the IEBC 2022 ballot box. Context for this cartoon is that there have been 7,200 people who have set to run as independent candidates in the August election. 47 of them are running for the presidency and 44 of them have been cleared to go. And I think the calculator is just saying how much money these guys are just pouring into this independent story to run. IBC is making money in droves. Well, I don't know if they'll win, but as we said, independent could be the third force in the coming election.
Indeed. So, do we have a winning cartoon?
It's a toss-up between the Star and
the
the Nation.
I like the Daily Nation.
I like the Star.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Am I the tiebreaker?
You're the tiebreaker.
Can we
Miss
give
Kate.
them both?
No, there has to be a winner. There are no ties.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with the Daily Nation.
Okay. And there you have it. The Daily Nation has managed it this week, or today. They have both our winning cartoon and our winning headline. Congratulations. Now, don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are also on your TV screens. Find us on Pang Free to Air, GoTV, and Star Times. I would like to end this with a lovely quote from Oscar Wilde. And it says that there are only two great tragedies in life. One is not getting what you want, and the other is getting it. Thank you so much for watching.